Okay guys, so this is Dr. Octoconopus, and in today's video for my Halloween special, I'm going to be showing you my custom LEGO minifigures from the remake of Halloween. And basically what I have here, four actually, four different looks of Michael Myers and Dr. Samuel Loomis. So, let's get started. So the first minifigure I want to show you is Michael Myers, the normal look of Michael Myers, because as I mentioned, I have made four different versions of him. Although he may not be a massively detailed minifigure, I think the detail I have put in is pretty good. So you can see he's got the brown coveralls. The coveralls have some detailing on the front right here. So he's got the zipper, the pockets, the collar, the white undershirt. You can see it right there. Then he's got the a little bit of skin showing through underneath his neck. Some other detail I'm not really sure how to explain. He's got the black shoes, and I'm not really going to show him from the back yet because there's no detail on the back of the body. Anyway, you can see he's got the bleached William Shatner mask, because that's what the Michael Myers mask is actually supposed to be. So yeah, it's got that kind of scowling look to it. I think I managed to capture the facial expression fairly well. You can't see the eyes, they're just black, because I think Michael looks a lot cooler when you can't see his eyes. He looks more sinister and evil. The hair, you can see the hair right there. Yeah, I sculpted that out of an air drying modeling clay. Yeah, I pretty much just sculpted it onto the minifigure's head. Then I had to take it off and paint it. Then I glued it on, and yeah, that's how I made the hair pretty much. The hair has some texturing to it, not much though. See, it's got like all these little lines to try and make it look more like hair. I know that LEGO do have an actual hairpiece that is very similar to the one I've sculpted, but I didn't have it at the time, so that's why I used clay. Now let's move on to the accessories. Michael features two different accessories. The first one is his iconic kitchen knife, because that's the main weapon he uses in the movie. So the kitchen knife turned out pretty good. I made it by modifying a Lego spear piece. It's kind of hard to explain how I did it, but I will be doing a tutorial for it soon so that you guys can try and make your own. You can see the blades, a nice shiny silver color, and it's also got some blood splattered on there. I used a glossy red paint for the blood so that it looked more like wet blood, to make it look more realistic. The knife actually does fit in Michael's hand quite well, and there's two different ways to display it. You can see right now I've got it in kind of a stabbing position. Yeah, it looks pretty cool like that. The other way is, of course, just him holding it normally. I showed it like that at the beginning of the video if you want to see how it looks. The other accessory that he has is, of course, an alternate head, and this is supposed to be from the very beginning of Halloween 2. When he breaks out of the ambulance, and also during the hospital scene. So you can see the only real difference between this and the normal head is that one side has blood splattered all over it, yeah, I pretty much just made a second head that was exactly the same as the first one, and then I just painted some blood on there. And I used the same kind of glossy red paint that I did on the knife, so it looks more like blood. Yeah, I tried to make it look like it was also dripping down his face. Uh, yeah. I think the hair piece actually turned out slightly better on this one. It's a lot smoother than the other one. Like, it's just a lot better looking in my opinion. And yeah, apart from that, it's pretty much the exact same head. Now let's move on to our next minifigure. And of course, this is the young Michael Myers. So you can see that he's got his clown costume because that's what he wore when he went trick-or-treating before he started killing people. Um, so you can see he's got this red clown shirt with this yellow pattern on it, and there's a clown face in the middle. The clown face isn't quite as detailed as I would like it to be, but I think for how small I actually managed to get it, I think I did a pretty good job. You can see he's got the grey undershirt. You can see that right there on his arms. And on his back as well. And you can see one leg of his pants is blue, the other one is yellow. He's got his sneakers on. You can see they're black with some white detailing. He's got the clown mask. I actually think I did a really good job on the clown mask. You know, I just looked at a picture of it and then I just tried to add in as much detail as I possibly could. You can't really tell just by looking at the video, I don't think, but the eye holes are actually indentations, so there's actually some depth to them. You know, they're not just painted on, they're actually holes. Yeah, so you can see, got the nose, the hair, mouth, teeth, detailing on the eyes, the hat. It's pretty good. He's also got his long blonde hair. And this line here is supposed to be the strap that actually holds the mask on, but that's actually just sculpted in. As you've probably figured out by now, for the mask and the hair, I did the exact same thing as I did with the hair on my adult Michael Myers. I pretty much just sculpted it onto a minifigure head. And yeah, then I just had to paint it. As for accessories, the young Michael also features two different ones, just like the adult Michael. First of all, there's the kitchen knife again. This is exactly the same as the one I made for the adult Michael, except it's not bloody. It's just a clean version. It doesn't have any blood on it. Because I figured if I was going to make two, I might as well do a variant of it without the blood. So yeah, it's basically the exact same knife. And it also fits in his hand the exact same way. He can hold it really well. And there's two different ways to display it. You know, obviously there's the stabbing position again, and then there's just the normal holding position, which I showed before. Anyway, the other accessory that he has is this, and this is supposed to be his little trick-or-treating basket that he had. This is what he collected his candy in. Just thought it might be a cool little thing to include. It's pretty much just a normal minifigure head. I just cut the stud off of it. I had to use a newer head because if you cut the stud off of the older heads, there's actually a little hole right there. So yeah, that's why I used a newer head. But yeah, I cut the stud off. I painted it. You know, I painted it orange. Then I used black to paint on this little jack-o'-lantern face. It's pretty simple. And then what I did was I just super glued one of these little bucket handle pieces on there. Yeah, just so he can hold it. And he holds it quite well. I'm not the first person to use that design for a trick-or-treating basket. I have seen other people do it before, but I'm not sure if I've ever seen anyone cut the stud off before. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about young Michael. So let's move on to the next minifig. Alright, so for our third minifigure, we have yet another variant of Michael Myers, only this time it's the escape version of him. So he pretty much looks like this from the point where he breaks out of the mental institution to the point where he kills the truck driver in the bathroom, and then he puts on the coveralls and goes back to his house, and that's when he switches to the William Shatner mask. So anyway, you can see that this guy doesn't really have a whole lot of detail in the body, and that's because there really isn't a whole lot of detail to his outfit in the actual movie. And yeah, that's why it was easy to do. So you can see he's got the blue bathrobe. It doesn't really look that much like a bathrobe. I probably could have added more detail to it to make it look more like one, but I'm happy with it, and I might update it in future, but I think for now, at least, it's fine the way it is. Yeah, so you can see he's also got the white shirt, and there's some outlining just to separate his shirt from the robe. He's got the blue pants. And something that I'm very happy with is his feet. So you can see all that detailing on his feet. Yeah, you can see that he's wearing the sandals. They're a dark brown color at the bottom. And at the top, they're a much lighter brown. And then there's his toes there. And the toes aren't that detailed. They're just like drawn in, but you know, I think it just makes him look that little bit better. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the feet because it actually looks like he's wearing sandals. Now onto the mask. So while Michael was in the mental institute, he made lots of different masks out of paper mache. And this was just one of the many different ones that he had. And this is the one that he wore when he broke out, obviously. And it's a really cool looking mask. You know, it's got kind of a jack-o'-lantern look to it. You can see it's orange. It's got this sort of creepy smile with some jagged teeth, some eyes, nose. All these little lines are supposed to be the creases in it, because in the movie it's a paper mache mask and it has a lot of creases and tears in it. You can see pretty much from this point down, it's all just skin colored because it just covers his face. It's not like a full overhead mask. So yeah, the whole neck area is skin colored. And for the hair, I just used some Prince of Persia hair. Well, technically it's not Prince of Persia hair. It's it's a different color from the Prince of Persia hair. I got it from like one of the minifigure series things. I'm not sure which one, but yeah, I think that hair piece works pretty well for this version of Michael Myers. Yeah. So yeah, I think I captured the look of the character pretty well. And yeah, overall I'm happy with it. As for accessories, he only has one, and as you can see, it's a pair of handcuffs, because when the guards are walking him down the hallways of the mental institute, he has these handcuffs. Well, really they were shackles in the movie, but handcuffs were the closest thing I could get to shackles. They're a nice rubbery plastic, so they come on and off his hands really well, and it doesn't scratch the paint off, so that's always good. So anyway, the next minifigure I want to show you is the Hobo Michael Myers, or Hobo Myers as a lot of people are calling it. So this is pretty much how Michael looks for the main portion of Halloween 2, excluding the van scene and the hospital scene, because in those scenes he had the bloodied version of the mask. So, as far as detail, the coveralls are pretty much the same as they were on my normal Michael Myers. They got basically the same details. The zipper, the collar, the skin showing through, the black shoes. I didn't put the white undershirt in because I don't think he had that in Halloween 2. But apart from the coveralls, the rest of the detail is actually quite different. So you can see he has this blue jacket, and over the top of the blue jacket he has this green sleeveless hoodie. And the hoodie has this overlapping pattern on it, on the front and on the back. The actual hood part is made out of clay, once again. The hoodie isn't removable, it's actually glued onto his head, but the head still comes off. This white stuff here is supposed to be the insulation that's been ripped out of his jacket. I think that's what it is anyway. You can see that the mask is now a very dirty yellow color. It started out as just white, but, since this version is supposed to be 2 years after the events of Halloween 1, the mask is now really dirty and it's faded into yellow. I've seen other people use grey for their Hobo Myers minifigs. You know, I've seen them use grey for the mask, but in my opinion, the mask looked a lot more yellow than grey, especially towards the end. Yeah, so you can see that the mask has a lot of rips and tears in it. And the cool thing is, there's actually this big chunk taken out of it, and you can see the side of his face. He gets that chunk taken out when he's in the strip club. And yeah. So you can see his eye, his eyebrow, and you can actually see some of his beard coming through because he has a beard in this one. Yeah. I think the mask turned out pretty good. The accessory that he has is a hunting knife, because in this version he uses a hunting knife instead of a kitchen knife, which is what he would normally use. It's just a standard Lego knife. It's nothing special. You can get these in a lot of sets. I probably could have put some blood on it, but I didn't really feel the need to. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about my Hobo Myers. I think he turned out pretty good. And now it's time for the fifth and final minifigure that I'm going to be showing you in this video. And this is, of course, Dr. Samuel Loomis. It seems fitting that I'm showing Loomis last, because he was the last one that I made. So he's got some pretty nice detail to him. You can see where his trench coat's buttoned up. He's got the this thing tied around his waist. I don't really know what to call that. He's got his collar. You can see there's even some detailing on the leg. Yeah, I always worried about putting detail on my minifigure's legs, because if you do it too thick, the paint actually scratches off when you move them. But on this guy, I actually managed to prevent that from happening. In fact, I did that on all of the minifigures that I showed in this video. So he's also got this thing buttoned up on both of his arms. I don't really know what to call that either. There's some extra little details on the back. There's that little split that trench coats usually have in the back. He's got a black turtleneck on. You can see I even continued it up to his neck to make it look like a turtleneck. He's got his grey beard and his grey eyebrows, and the facial expression is pretty accurate to the movie. It has a pretty decent likeness to the actor. His hairpiece, I got that from a Harry Potter set. Don't remember what the minifigure was called, but I think I got it from the Night Bus. And his lower legs are pretty much just black because, you know, apart from the trench coat, his outfit was just black, you know, shoes, pants, turtleneck. So, yeah, that made it a little easier to make him. The obvious accessory to give Loomis was, of course, his revolver. Because that's really the only weapon that he uses in the movie. And this is just a standard Lego revolver. It recently occurred to me that Lego have released a newer version of it in the Lone Ranger sets. But I'm happy with this one. You know, I think it serves its purpose well enough. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Loomis. And overall, I'm pretty happy with how all of my Halloween minifigs have turned out. You know, I'm satisfied, you know, and I think they make a pretty nice addition to my Lego horror collection. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know what you think in the comments section below. Stay tuned for more. Happy Halloween, and see you next time.